Yo, what's up guys, my name's Hakiii, and as some of you may know, Rockstar removed almost 200 vehicles from the in-game websites with the San Andreas Mercenaries DLC, and today we're gonna look at my absolute favorite ones that they just snatched away from us with no mercy, starting with the 190Z. I really like this vehicle solely because of the crazy amount of customization it has. I believe it's the most customizable non-Benny's vehicle in the whole game, so it has a lot of customization, 32 different categories you can pick through, which kind of surprised me at first because it doesn't look like any crazy vehicle that would have a ton of customization, and it's really a shame the 190Z is no longer purchasable. Hopefully we'll have it as the podium vehicle or something like that soon, because it's kind of rare to find a vehicle as good as this. I mean, on top of the great customization options, even the interior of the car looks pretty cool. Usually GTA car interiors are nothing special, but this one in particular is actually kind of sick. It's like all wooden and stuff. If I ever manage to see this car again in the game, I'm definitely gonna be hyped to see the cool mirror options, hood options, engine block options, liveries, and much more. If it ever comes back to us, definitely recommend checking it out. Next, we have another great and very customizable vehicle, which is the Hellion. The Hellion might just be one of my favorite vehicles in the whole game, and to see it go like this is kind of a bummer for other people because I actually own like a good 3 of these. We have to remember that the vehicles that were removed, if we already have them in our garages, obviously they're not going to take them from us, but just people who didn't own them in the past, they don't have an option to buy them now. Kind of a big bummer for people that haven't owned the Hellion yet. It's a great vehicle. Once again, when it comes to customization, it's got a couple of unique liveries, a ton of bumper options, hood options. You can completely expose the hood, by the way, or just completely take it off so you can see the whole engine. You can have a lot of cool roof options. You can put an extra light bar on the top of the vehicle, so let's say it's nighttime and you need some extra lights. I guess you do have that as a roof option. Even some window plates options, so you can make this vehicle look so many different ways, and I love this vehicle for that. The Hellion's gonna be remembered on the in-game websites. Luckily, I'm one of the people who already own it. The next awesome car that was removed was actually a huge surprise to me that they removed it, just because they said they're removing lesser used vehicles, and to be honest, I know a good amount of people that actually use this vehicle and really like this vehicle. I'm one of them. We're talking about the XA21. There's so many good things about this vehicle. One is the looks of it. It's got a very unique look to it, and if you ask me, the best feature of this car is actually the sound of it. The engine sound of the XA21 is probably the best engine sound to a supercar we have in GTA Online. It's got such a nice engine sound. It's relatively loud and you could definitely hear it well. The XA21 is actually hands down one of the best sounding cars in the game. Huge bummer that they removed it. Along with that, I just really enjoy driving it around. It's got some really good handling, actually one of the better handling supercars. I love the overall looks of this car, and it's got an active spoiler as well, which is a pretty unique feature, like with the T20 that also has it. With the active spoiler, when you start driving, it goes up, and then once you completely come to a stop, it'll go back down. It's kind of like a futuristic type spoiler, which I really like. I love to see it in GTA Online. Let's move on to yet another vehicle that has an amazing engine sound, which is the Sterling GT. Both the Sterling and the XA21 sound pretty similar, but you can hear the engine really well, and it's awesome to just rev the engine, and just driving around feels awesome. The Sterling got extra customization along with the Zentorno in one of the recent DLCs, so customization with it is awesome, and a cool feature with it is the butterfly doors, so when you open the doors just completely go up instead of to the sides. The next one is gonna hurt the OG lovers of GTA 5, or the OG players I should say, because the next one is the Massacro. Now, only some of the people in this video are gonna know about the Massacro. The Massacro was considered the best sports car way back in the day in GTA Online. I'm talking, I think, the 2014 or the 2015 days. That was like the best sports car. It kind of was a big rival of the Jester. Back in the day, the big rivalry in the sports class was the Massacro versus the Jester, but the Massacro was a little bit better always. Now, of course, the Massacro isn't a top tier performing sports car anymore, just because so many sports cars are now better that came out after, but it still sucks to see such an OG sports car just get removed from the websites like that. Luckily, I own one of these and I'm definitely gonna hold on to it tight. The only reason I have one is because of the respect I have for it because it's so OG. Then we have the Paragon R car, which also has an armored version. It's probably one of the only armored sports cars we have in the game, and it also got removed from the in-game websites. It's kind of a shame. It's a very nice looking sports car. I believe it's based off a Bentley in real life. I really like the liveries you can put on it, and just the overall customization is solid. It's not as good as the Sterling GTs, but it's solid. That's yet another car we can just put in the grave of cars removed in the game, even though if you already owned it, then you're fine, I guess. Next is the P-Fister 811. This is actually another really surprising one because of the fact that it's really fast. This one's classified as a supercar, and when it comes to top speed, it is, I believe, within the top 5 fastest supercars. It has a crazy high top speed. Around the track, it's not top tier when it comes to the best performing supercars, but top speed, it was definitely up there. It overall performs pretty well. I mean, the handling's pretty good, the acceleration and top speed are really good, so kind of a bummer this got removed from the websites. Next is another very big OG, not only in GTA 5 but also in the Grand Theft Auto series in general. The Infernus has been in the Grand Theft Auto series long before GTA 5 came out. It's been in GTA 4 and I think some other GTA games too, and for some reason it also got removed. I really like this vehicle also because I have the respect for it for being so OG in the whole GTA series, and that's pretty much the only reason, because this car performs kinda poorly. Driving it around is kind of a struggle. It's not very fast. It does tend to spin out too much, but I still am sad to see it go from the websites, but I'm not too sad because once again, luckily I do own it. Then we actually have a truck on this list. We have the good old Sand King. This is a really OG vehicle that I'm pretty sure came out with the launch of the game. Now I'm not too bummed about this one because it's relatively easy to find the Sand King in the street unless Rockstar did some crazy algorithm change, and now because it's not on the in-game websites, we're not going to see it in the streets either, but that's probably not the case. So this one in particular is actually not that big a deal. It's just that you can't go in the in-game websites and buy it. You do have to find it in the streets, which is even better because it's going to be technically free. And then moving on to the Cyclone, just the regular Cyclone, not the Cyclone 2. This also got removed. This was the first electric car that I really noticed how incredibly fast the acceleration was on it. I don't know if it was actually the first electric car in the game, but it's definitely the first electric car that I started paying attention to. I do find that it's pretty fun to drive it around with a crazy high acceleration. The top speed isn't going to be the greatest, but the handling's good enough and the acceleration is crazy high, so also the car looks nice and clean as well. There's so many more vehicles I could have included in this video, but I didn't want it to be like half an hour long. It could have easily been that. There's a lot more vehicles that got removed. That's definitely a bummer that they did, but these are my 10 favorite ones that I had to pick for this video. Let me know which ones you're most bummed that you're not able to buy in the in-game websites anymore. Let me know in the comments, and click the video on screen now if you want to see all the new changes in the San Andreas Mercenaries DLC. I hope you all enjoy that video, and peace.